Hi friends, welcome back to Story Highway. Today's story is called The Lighthouse Keeper's Promise. It's about an old man who spent his life guiding ships to safety, and a young girl who discovers the light of hope in his story. So, sit back, relax, and let's begin this journey. Along the rocky coast of Maine stood a tall, weather-beaten lighthouse. For over 40 years, its keeper, Mr. Samuel Harris, had watched the sea day and night, making sure the light never went out. His beard had turned white, his hands rough with age, but his eyes still sparkled with the same determination he had when he first took the job. Samuel lived alone in a small stone cottage near the lighthouse. Many people in town barely knew him, except for tales that the old man by the sea never left his post. But what they didn't know was that Samuel carried a heavy promise in his heart. Years ago, during a terrible storm, he had lost his own brother at sea. From that day on, he swore no sailor would ever be left unguided as long as he was alive. One summer, a curious 14-year-old girl named Emily, who lived in the town nearby, began visiting the lighthouse. She loved sketching, and the tall tower against the crashing waves fascinated her. At first, Samuel was quiet, almost gruff, but slowly, he began to share his stories with her. About nights when fog was so thick he had to ring the bell all night, or when freezing storms shook the tower, but he never left his watch. Emily listened with wide eyes, filling her sketchbook with drawings of the lighthouse and writing notes about Samuel's words. She asked, "Why do you never take a break?" Samuel replied softly, "Because every light we keep alive means someone gets to go home to their family. That is a promise I made long ago." One evening, a violent storm swept across the coast. The waves thundered like giants, and the wind howled fiercely. Emily, worried for the old man, rushed to the lighthouse. Inside, she found Samuel climbing the narrow stairs, his lantern in hand, determined to keep the great light burning, despite the storm. Emily begged, "Please, let me help." Together, they fought the storm, Samuel adjusting the great lamp, Emily keeping the glass clear of rain and soot. For hours, they worked side by side, while ships in the distance relied on that single beam of light to guide them. By dawn, the storm eased, and the sea calmed. When the townspeople heard how Samuel and Emily had kept the light burning, they came to thank him. For the first time, Samuel realized he was not alone in his promise. Kindness and courage had passed on to another generation. Emily's sketches and notes later became a small book titled The Lighthouse Keeper's Promise, reminding everyone of the quiet hero who had kept them safe for so long. As the years went by, the lighthouse was modernized, and Samuel finally retired. But he no longer feared being forgotten, because he had passed the flame of responsibility to Emily, and through her book, to countless others. So friends, that was the Lighthouse Keeper's Promise. It teaches us that promises built on love and sacrifice can light the way for others, even long after we are gone. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Story Highway for more heart-touching English stories.